Hi guys, it's Natalie here with you again today, and today I'm going to be illustrating from Mark chapter 5. I'm going to start the process and probably chat to you along as I go along. So the passage that I'm doing is about Jairus, I think that's how you say his name, Jairus's daughter, who was at the point of death and who even then did die while Jesus was on his way to heal her, and also about the woman with the issue of blood, who both of these people came to Jesus with this expectation of knowing that he was going to heal them. They didn't ask, could you heal me? They said, I know you can heal me. So what I'm journaling about is these great expectations. If we come to Jesus with great expectations, then that's where he'll meet us, and that's what we can then expect. So I'm going to write great expectations, and because it's great expectations, I want to write this really big. So I've taken these really big chipboard alphabets that I've got, and this is going to write great. But if I just put these here, then it's obviously going to cover up lots and lots of the text, and I'd prefer not to do that. So instead, I'm just going to use these as a template and just trace around these letters, and then I'm going to color it in later. But this is how I'm going to do, oops, missed a bit. These really big, this is going to be the standout message, obviously. And I just think it's kind of apt, I do great as these giant letters. Now you can kind of overlap the letters a bit here, and then maybe not draw all the way around the letters, just wait until it meets up with that A, and then leave that bit out. See here? That way I know that I'm going to be able to fit in all of the letters, and sometimes I think it just looks a little bit better when you kind of squish up all the letters rather than keeping them all separate. It's a bit more natural about how the way we would write. And that way I can just make sure also that they're all going to fit in, because they are very big. Alright, so there's my great. Now later on, I might just add some sort of paint around the outside of these just to make it stand out even more. But I still, as I say, like to be able to read the text underneath. So that's great. And then I think what I'm going to do is now color in my margin. And I'm going to do like this masking technique. So I've got the really skinny washi from the original Genesis kit, and I'm just going to be laying some strips down just in the margins, and I'm going to be doing them quite close together. And yes, it's upside down, and I'm not sticking them too firmly down, and you'll see why in a minute. So you're not going to be able to see this tape. I'm just using this tape as a mask. So what I'm going to do is lay all of these strips all the way down to the bottom of the margin, and then I'm going to use some paint over the top. And obviously where it's on the washi tape, when I then pull the washi tape up, you're not going to have the paint, and where there's a gap, you are going to see the paint. Now obviously I could otherwise just paint stripes. That would be also an easy way of doing things. But I think, so this is going to give me some really straight, neat lines on painting. Oops. I'm just going to pop my Bible mat underneath, and might use the orangey one, or whatever this is called, cadmium yellow, and the paint chip, and I'm just going to squidge just a little bit onto the edge of my paint chip here, and we're just going to paint, scrape it across in the margins. Go up a little bit. There we go, that's essentially done. Just going to, so you didn't see how little paint I used, and it's created all of that effect that I wanted. Now I'm just going to gently peel up all of this washi tape, and you'll see all of the lines left underneath. It's going to be a little bit of a fiddly job, so I'll come back when I've done it, okay? Alright, so I've pulled up all the tape and it's left me with some nice lines that I can journal on. I'm using my Faber-Castell Pitt Big Brush pen in a chrome yellow because it's a very similar colour to that paint. That's what I figured I would go around the outside of these letters with. Oops, smudging that paint a little bit. Covered in paint, that's part of the joy of all of this, isn't it? And I'm not being too perfect here. Fairly rough and quick. Because, you know, that paint is kind of messy. You know, that's what I was after. So I'm kind of going with the same look with my texture. Just wanting to make these letters stand out. So there you go. So now you can definitely read that. I'll use some of these stickers to spell out expectations. And it's going to go down here. Now, as usual, when I'm putting on the letter stickers, like this is obviously going to be a really long word that's not going to fit on one line. So I just always put them on quite lightly to begin with, like not stick them down, so I can try and then work out what the spacing is going to be once all of the letters are there. Expectations. In fact, it's going to go over 3 lines. And it actually just fit pretty much just the way I put it down, so I don't have to shuffle too much around. I just need the little dot for my eye. So that's Great Expectations. And then I'm just going to use these lines to journal a little bit. And in fact, I'll also want to go around those letters with my pen. I'll just definitely wait for that paint to dry before I start writing over the paint. Otherwise, you know, it'll wreck the pen. So I might just leave that till last. At the top, I'm using the Family die cut prompts. I found this little key. I thought that's going to go up the top as well. Although now looking at it, I'm just thinking that's a very similar color to all of that yellow, so that might not work. Let's see what else we've got in here. Maybe some hearts. And I like this one as well. That's going to work. You know, it kind of fits the prompt, doesn't it? So maybe I'll even do that, although it's quite large, isn't it? I can do that here. That won't cover up too much. Stick that on maybe with a little bow. Just like that. And maybe some of the hearts. Use that to stick them down a little bit more too. And then that's probably just about it. All I'm going to do then, as I say, is just write my journaling down here. Go around these letters with my pen as well to also make them stand out. Whether or not I'll do maybe some pink on these letters as well. You know, like when I get to this point in the page, I just kind of start fiddling, I guess, and start adding the little bit of extra touches at the end to really just make it all stand out. Or, you know, like as long as you've got time, I just keep on playing. So I'll just keep on adding things and shifting things around. That's really my process. But what I wanted to just talk about today was just this verse. You know, it's really been speaking to me about coming to Jesus with our hopes and our needs and our wants, but allowing our dreams to be big and allowing our expectations to be big, because when we do that, then that's exactly where God will meet us. And that's, you know, it says in Hebrews 12:2 that Jesus is the author and finisher of our faith. So, you know, we look to him to really meet all of our needs, and if we come with great expectations, then he'll meet us there. Anyway, I'm just going to finish this off and I'll show you the very end photographs at the bottom of this blog post, and I hope that you have a great day illustrating your faith today. I'll see you later.